What if I told you that a single decision by a Roman general could have prevented the fall of the Western Roman Empire? What was that decision, and why did it seal the fate of one of the greatest civilizations in history? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the answer. Today, we're embarking on an epic journey through time, exploring the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, a civilization that shaped the course of Western history. From humble beginnings as a small city-state to ruling vast swathes of Europe, the Middle East and North Africa, Rome's story is one of ambition, innovation and resilience, but also betrayal and eventual collapse. This story spans over 1,000 years and touches on themes of war, politics, culture and even religion. Each phase of the Roman Empire reveals crucial lessons about power, adaptability and the fragility of human institutions. Chapter 1. The Founding Myth. Our story begins in 753 BCE with the legendary tale of Romulus and Remus, twin brothers raised by a she-wolf. According to myth, Romulus killed Remus in a quarrel and founded the city of Rome. But how much of this story is true? While the myth captures the imagination, archaeological evidence suggests that Rome started as a collection of small settlements on the Palatine Hill, gradually uniting into a single entity. These settlements were not unique. The Italian peninsula was a melting pot of cultures, including the Etruscans to the north and Greek colonies in the south. Early Romans borrowed heavily from their neighbours, adopting Etruscan engineering and Greek art and philosophy. This cultural exchange laid the foundation for Rome's later dominance. By the 6th century BCE, Rome had transitioned from monarchy to a republic. This marked a significant turning point as power shifted from kings to elected officials and a complex system of checks and balances. Yet the seeds of Rome's greatness were planted here. Its military discipline, innovative infrastructure, and a society that valued law and citizenship. Chapter 2. The Republic's Rise. Rome's early years as a republic were marked by constant warfare with neighboring tribes and cities. The struggle for survival forged a militaristic and resilient society. By the 4th century BCE, Rome began its expansion, culminating in its victory over Carthage during the Punic Wars. The Punic Wars' 3 brutal conflicts fought between 264 and 146 BCE saw Rome's emergence as the dominant power in the Mediterranean. The Second War, in particular, is legendary for Hannibal's daring crossing of the Alps with elephants. Despite early setbacks, Rome's military ingenuity, led by generals like Scipio Africanus, secured its supremacy. But success came at a price. The influx of wealth and slaves from conquered territories created vast inequalities, destabilizing the Republic. The Gracchi brothers' attempts at land reform highlighted these tensions, setting the stage for a period of internal strife. Rome's social fabric began to fray as the divide between the wealthy elite and the impoverished masses widened. The concept of citizenship, once a cornerstone of Roman identity, also evolved during this time. Originally granted only to native Romans, citizenship began to extend to allies and eventually to the people of conquered territories. This inclusivity helped maintain loyalty among the provinces, but also diluted the power of traditional Roman institutions. The power vacuum left by Caesar's assassination led to the rise of the Second Triumvirate: Octavian, Mark Antony, and Lepidus. This uneasy alliance eventually dissolved into conflict. The climactic Battle of Actium in 31 BCE saw Octavian's forces decisively defeat Antony and Cleopatra, paving the way for a new era. Chapter 3. The Fall of the Republic. The 1st century BCE was a tumultuous era marked by political corruption, social unrest, and civil wars. Figures like Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus dominated this period. Together, they formed the First Triumvirate, a political alliance that effectively bypassed the Senate's authority. Julius Caesar's military campaigns, particularly in Gaul, brought him immense power and popularity. His writings, including commentaries on the Gallic War, provided a vivid account of his conquests and cemented his reputation as a brilliant general. But his growing influence alarmed the Senate and his former allies. In 49 BCE, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, an act of rebellion that plunged Rome into civil war. His famous words, "Alea iacta est," the die is cast, signify a moment of no return. After defeating Pompey, Caesar declared himself dictator for life. His reforms, such as the Julian calendar and debt relief measures, were popular among the masses but alienated the Senate. On the Ides of March 44 BCE, a group of senators assassinated him, hoping to restore the Republic. Instead, his death unleashed another wave of chaos. Chapter 4. The Birth of the Empire. The rise of Octavian, later known as Augustus, marked the end of the Republic and the beginning of the Roman Empire. In 27 BCE, Augustus declared the restoration of the Republic, but in reality, he established a centralized autocracy. His reign ushered in the Pax Romana, a 200-year period of relative peace and stability. Under Augustus, Rome experienced a cultural renaissance. Poets like Virgil and Horace celebrated Rome's greatness, while architects and engineers constructed enduring landmarks. The Forum of Augustus, the Ara Pacis, and the aqueducts exemplify the era's architectural achievements. Augustus also implemented administrative reforms that strengthened the empire. He professionalized the military, established a standing army, and created a network of roads to facilitate communication and trade. These innovations allowed Rome to govern its vast territories effectively. Chapter 5. The Height of Power. At its height, around 117 CE under Emperor Trajan, the Roman Empire stretched from Britain to Mesopotamia. This vast expanse was held together by a network of roads, fortified borders, and an efficient bureaucracy. The empire's economy thrived on trade, agriculture, and taxes from its provinces. Trajan's Column, a monument celebrating his conquests, illustrates the scale of Rome's ambitions. His successor, Hadrian, consolidated these gains and focused on fortifying the empire's borders. The construction of Hadrian's Wall in Britain exemplifies this defensive strategy. However, cracks began to show. The sheer size of the empire made it difficult to govern. External threats from Germanic tribes and Parthians tested Rome's military might. Internally, succession crises and the increasing reliance on mercenaries undermined stability. Chapter 6. The Crisis of the 3rd Century. The 3rd century CE was a period of chaos. A succession of short-lived emperors, economic collapse, and invasions by barbarian tribes brought Rome to the brink of ruin. Yet, the empire endured thanks to reforms by leaders like Diocletian and Constantine. Diocletian's division of the empire into east and west aimed to make it more manageable, while Constantine's embrace of Christianity as a unifying force changed the empire's religious landscape forever. The founding of Constantinople in 330 CE established a new center of power in the east. The Christianization of the empire had profound cultural and political implications. It provided a sense of unity and moral purpose, but it also led to conflicts with traditional Roman religious practices. The Edict of Milan in 313 CE granted religious tolerance, setting the stage for Christianity's dominance. Chapter 7. The Fall of the West. Despite these efforts, the Western Roman Empire could not withstand the pressures of barbarian invasions, economic decline, and internal corruption. The sack of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 CE and the deposition of the last Western emperor, Romulus Augustulus, in 476 CE marked the end of an era. The decline was not sudden, but rather a gradual process marked by key events. The migration of the Huns and the subsequent displacement of Germanic tribes created a domino effect, overwhelming Rome's defences. The empire's reliance on foederati, barbarian tribes serving as auxiliary troops, further eroded its cohesion. Chapter 8. The Legacy of Rome. Though the Western Roman Empire fell, the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, survived for another 1,000 years. Meanwhile, the legacy of Rome lived on in countless ways. Its legal systems, languages, architecture, and ideals of governance shaped the Western world. Rome's influence can be seen in modern legal codes, democratic principles, and even the layout of cities. The Renaissance rediscovered Roman art and literature, reigniting interest in classical antiquity. The idea of Rome as a symbol of power and civilization continues to resonate today. So, what was the decision that could have saved the Western Roman Empire? Many historians point to the Battle of Adrianople in 378 CE, where Emperor Valens chose to engage the Goths without waiting for reinforcements. This disastrous defeat weakened Rome's ability to defend its borders, accelerating its decline. Had Valens waited, could the empire have endured for centuries more? We'll never know, but one thing is clear. The story of Rome's rise and fall is a testament to the complexities of power, leadership, and the human spirit. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. What other topics would you like us to cover? Let us know in the comments below.